This is also God's front help desk, God's receptionist, if you will. I get messages directly from source, then I have to come on here and give them to you guys. Today, I'm particularly frustrated. I bet you all are getting frustrated. I am on here for Group 7. I need all the members of Group 7 to join me. If you don't know who Group 7 is, Group 7 has ADHD like a mofo. Group 7 has adult ADHD. You're always busy. Your mind's always busy. You deal with a lot of anxiety. You deal with a lot of chores. You have to regulate yourself and others. You're usually in charge of other people. All the responsibility, none of the authority. That'd be Group 7. And, sorry about that. Group 7 is usually dismissed, ignored, talked over, always stuck in group projects where you're the only one doing the project and everyone else is taking the credit. Most of the time, you are being put in charge of something so that when the hard decisions have to be made, they have someone to blame. Sorry, my little camera holder is funky today. It's been a rough day. Everything's been wonky. So, I've got a story for you real quick. So this is definitely Group 7 behavior. You would be the one having this happen to you, not the one doing this to someone, because you're not the kind of person who would leave an animal on someone else's porch. So there's this lady that my cousin was dating, and she's ratchet. She's ratchet and clank. She is a very destructive force, but she spent a lot of money to get this blue pit bull puppy, right? And when he was cute and palm size and she could fit him in her purse, she would carry him around everywhere she goes. Well, once the dog wasn't cute and purse size anymore, she doesn't want to take care of him the same. Instead, she gave him to the boyfriend who told her, I don't like you nor your funky ass dog. You better not leave him with me. So he ties this dog to my porch and leaves, and I know nothing about it because I was on holiday on the 3rd. I come back on the 5th, and my neighbor comes and tells me, hey, so-and-so left the dog on your porch. They said you can keep it or the neighborhood kids can have it or whatever. So the guy who tied it to my porch was my cousin. Today, the girl who had the dog when it was all cute and puppy sized, she texted my spouse's phone threatening us and the cousin and the neighbor who picked up the dog to call the cops on all of us to get her dog back. I said, you're like a mom who left her kid with a stranger, and then when she was sober, figured out they weren't with you. And now everyone else who actually did take care of the child, the fur baby, is the one in trouble. I do not think so. So then she threatening, like I said, and I got mad because I've already told this woman before, I don't want you anywhere around my house. I don't want you around my family. I don't care if you're my family's girlfriend. Go the F away. Like I said, typical Group 7 behavior. You make it known to the person you do not like. We don't see eye to eye. I see you and I don't like you. Then, even though you've made it clear, I don't want you around me at all, they still get you wrapped up in it in some kind of way. Hello? They get you wrapped up in it by, like I said, dropping their animal off on you, asking about your relative, wanting to be connected to you in some kind of way, even after you've made it clear they need to go away. And they don't. And so then they provoke you into a state of being uncivilized, but not illogical. They're already illogical. They're already emotional. They're already psychotic. That's why they would do stuff like, I don't know, tie a puppy to a porch and leave it for 2 days. Had my neighbor not gotten that dog, it would be dead, tied to a leash on my porch. I didn't come home till the 5th. It's been a solid 100 degrees every day so far. So from the 3rd to the 5th, this little dog would have been tied to my porch, except the neighbor saw them do it and came right over there to him, gave him some water, and took him in with him, and then came and told me about it when he saw me outside again yesterday. Or no, the day before yesterday. Anywho, the point is, once the chick becomes threatening, she's all, I'm going to come to your house, I'm going to kick your ass. I said, you're not coming to my house. The sheriff's going to come to my house. I'm not coming to your property, and you're not coming to mine. We're going to get a mediator, right? Because I already know how she is. A person who's in the wrong will project that onto you, and then it's your job not to get baited down to the level where you're reactive, like they're wanting you to be reactive. Do it the grown-up way, where you call a police officer because you're already pissed off. You're already about to do something stupid yourself because they got you so mad. They started out stupid, then you match their stupid, and then it's a continuation. You don't want that. After you have to speak dumb to them, cut it off, because once you're that mad, you've lost. You're already outside of the starting point, and the starting point is she deserved to get animal abuse charges for letting that dog away from her, to the boyfriend, to the whatever. However she did it, it's still her fault. It's her dog that she's demanding back. Well, I've had this happen in a different form where it wasn't a dog, it was an actual child. It was a 4-year-old boy who lived 2 houses down from me. His mom, I'm just going to say, she was a fat bitch with 3 little kids. Her older daughter was like 10 years old, getting messed with clearly by her pedophile boyfriend. Then there was a 4-year-old little boy who was being like beat on, whipped on all the time. And then there was a 1-year-old baby. I saw this woman fist fight her own sister with her baby on her hip, and the baby got hit. And we called the cops then, and they said this is a DHS thing, Child Protective Services thing. We called DHS. They show up with car seats, take no one. And they told us, basically, unless the kids are in physical harm, there's not even enough homes to take them, to send them to temporarily or anything. So I'm having to watch this woman just be the worst mother on the block. Her little kids are constantly in danger, and the 4-year-old boy was running out into traffic every day at dusk because people would be swerving him, and they would slow down, and they would pull over, and they would ask him what he was doing or ask him where his mama was, and he would say, please take me away from my mom. She's hurting us. She's not feeding us. Like, he knew he was seeking out strangers just driving by asking for help, and no one was helping this kid. So me and my dad, the little kid makes it to our yard. I have my own 2 kids and invite him to play. He's playing with them, and then he starts telling us the stuff that's going on at home. I was a child who suffered shit in my own childhood, so I'm a major advocate for who did what. Give me a name. Like, let's go. Not only did I find you in a bad situation abandoned, I want to know where your people are. They need to answer for this. So I'm not the one who's like, oh, let's passive aggressively give their little, hello, darling, fellow seed. I will get up in someone's ass over protecting the innocent. That's a group 7 trait. You will not back down because it's not in you. It's not just that someone's being wronged or bullied. It's that they're also subliminally being fed the message that it doesn't matter how many people are around and how many people you tell or how many people see you. No one's going to do anything about it because that will be a hardship on them. Fuck that. I will not support that. I will not back that up. I will not feed into the idea that no matter how bad or public your suffering is, no one, we see it, we just don't care. I'm not the group that turns their head. I'm not the one who does it. I'm not the one who turns their head. So it does cause me a lot of shit. It will put me in the line of fire, and people will say, you're so much drama. You love to get into it. No, I don't. I like to do things the right way. I like for people to take care of their children and their pets and their senior family members and their neighbors who they can tell need help. I love people like they should be able to love each other. And sometimes love is tough love, calling people out on their stupid shit. So the story with the little boy, one night, this child comes to my house at 9 o'clock at night and knocks on the door. We have the front door open, but the glass door is closed. We're just watching TV. My spouse is cooking chicken. My dad and me and my 2 kids are in the living room watching TV. His little knock on the door, and my dad's like, who the hell is coming over here at this time? No one should be here. I go to the door. It's the little boy. He has soaking wet hair. It's already pitch black outside, and he's just in his underwear. I'm like, oh my God, Bubba, what happened? What's the matter? And he said, Mama made me sit on the porch because I'm scared of the dark. And I was like, that's not the only thing that happened. That's cruel. And I know you're scared of the dark, so I know, thank you for coming to my house. What happened? He said he was taking a bath with his little 1-year-old brother, and the little 1-year-old slipped in the tub, and because the mom wasn't watching any version of this, she just assumes. But the little 1-year-old slips in the tub, hits his head, and she assumes it's the 4-year-old that hurt him. So her punishment for him is to make him get out of the tub, get his underwear on, and then go sit in the dark on the front porch. He walks down to my house. He's talking about being hungry. So when I said he played with us before and he started airing things out, he aired out the fact that his sister, who's 10, like I said, she's a big old girl. He's a little bitty stick baby. And the 1-year-old's plump too because he's on formula. But basically, the sister takes his food. They don't have a lot of food, and the sister is mean to him. He always has bruises and stuff on him, and the mom's never watching him. That's why I'm like, who's giving you the bruises? It's the sister who's fighting him, hurting him, and taking his food, taking his snacks, stuff like that. So he's at my house looking just like a crime scene already, and we're cooking chicken. So we set him down at the kids' table and made him a plate of chicken and put it on cartoons. And we're asking him, where's your mom? What are we doing? I had already dealt with this asshole so much. I'd called the cops. I reported to them what the situation was and how many times she's been reported, including DHS, and nobody taken anyone. And they were like, okay, well, we need the mom to be present to do anything about it. I was like, okay, I'm not going to stress this kid out. It's fucked up. We're going to help this little boy out. And so we just let him sit there and calm down, get his hair dry, get him an outfit from my kid's clothes to have him be covered, and just take his mind off of what is going on here. And I'm not even joking, y'all. This is the saddest. Like, it makes me want to cry thinking about it. I probably will. Fuck these people. So the mom sends little sister to come get him. And as soon as, like, he's just laughing, smiling, being normal. As soon as he hears his sister's voice in the driveway, he just, like, freezes. Like, the food in his throat almost catches. The look of fear on his face was like, please don't make me go back. Please don't make me go back. And at first I didn't. Like, I was like, go get your mom, because I'm not going to talk to a little kid about what's going on here. And so the mom's, like, coming behind her. She comes to get the kid, and I was literally screaming at this woman. I was like, it's been 2 fucking hours. When did you even notice he was gone? You sent him out in the dark, soaking wet, because you said he hurt the baby. He's out here hungry. He's basically naked. He's freezing his ass off. This is in November. I was like, and you didn't even have the decency to notice that he was missing. I was like, you've lost him to me. And because I was in that irrational, protective mother rage, my dad had to tell me, sis, open the door, because it's kidnapping. And that's right. That's true. Even if you're trying to protect someone else's kid from them, you have to go the legal route, because you cannot just take someone else's child because they're fucking that undeserving and stupid and reckless with them. But I let her know. I let her know. I was like, I'm going to get you. Whatever it takes to get you, I'm going to get you. So I had to let her little boy go back. And my family obviously talked me off the cliff. Like, you can't do. But I called again and reported again. And I was like, I really want you to do something about this. Again, I confronted her one more time. And I guess because she knew she was not going to get off my radar until something was done about it, she moves. She, like, gets a job with some factory and gets enough money to move for a little bit. And I don't see her or the kids or anyone for about a year. But the next time I saw her, the kids were looking good. They had on, like, new school clothes, backpacks, shoes like they should. They were washed and everything. And she just came and she told me, she's like, thank you for calling me on my shit, because I really wasn't there for my kids. My mom had just died. I was going through a lot and I was just lost. And they're just casualties to it. I don't have anyone to help me with it. And I just told her, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they have to eat your body to survive. You're their mother. You don't just leave. You don't just send them out because you're mad and overwhelmed, and you sure as fuck don't blame them for the situation you're in or not being able to handle your feelings. So after that, it actually turned her around. And I've had to experience a lot of times, you guys. I've had to experience a lot of times where people are like, mind your fucking business. It is my business. It is my business. If you're dragging it up in front of me and you're doing it in my face, I'm the one. I am the one who's going to stop you. That shit is wrong. And when that's happening to little kids and it's happening to animals, or you have kids and you're dealing with it in front of your kids, you don't just tell them the right thing to do. You do it. Kids do what they see, not what you say. And even though you might have to look a damn fool in the moment, and you still may have to back down, the point is that kid no longer has the belief that literally no one cares. Like I said, the poor boy was running into the street at dusk every day to cars he did not know, saying, please help me, our mom hurts us. And no one was doing shit about it. I can't sleep at night knowing that that's going on. And like I said, if it's in my face, I'm going to do something about it. And so the point of this message is the same with the puppy. The poor thing's tied to my fucking porch in 100-degree weather for 2 days, and I'm supposed to not be upset about it. Once her goofy ass gets sober and remembers she had a dog in the first place, she's supposed to just come back to me and want to fight me because she's that irresponsible? No. I wanted to take him to either, like, we don't have an animal shelter thing here or animal control. It would just be police officers taking him. And if they had to keep him for too long because he's a pit bull, they would automatically put him down. So she's created a bad situation for this pet. This is like having designer pets and then not being able to keep them. So whenever you're called to action, be that person. It's not fun. Yeah, it's a little bit of sacrifice of you But what you are is dependable. What you are is someone of integrity, and what you are is someone who cares. And someone who cares and does something about it. They don't just sit there and talk about it. They don't get together with the people after like, oh my God, that's heartbreaking. Did you see that? Can you believe that? I don't read the headlines, dude. I make them. I'm the one who's like, we ran into the burning building and we got them. We even saved the arsonist who set the fire. They can be punished later. I need to send out a call for other people who are really willing to be on the front line of, hey, this is wrong and we're going to do something about it, because what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and we know the difference. It's going to be at great cost to you. You're not going to be popular for it. You're not going to be thanked for it until later. They do say thank you later, because this is the weird reward of that is later on, it's probably not going to be a whole year, but weeks, days. At first they fight you. At first it's like, who do you think you are to say anything to me? And then being called out on their shit like that makes them go self-assess. Sometimes they hide and they get worse and they do it deeper. But for the most part, that shit hurt because it was the truth. It made them mad because it was the truth. Someone is saying, I saw you. And when a stranger is calling you out on your shit, it's not a family member, it's not a jealous person, this is someone you've never met. And they're calling you out on your fucked up behavior on site. You can judge by a jury of your peers. Do we not live in society with these people? Do we not have everyday interactions with these people? We cannot just keep letting it slide, like keeping the peace, keeping the peace. No, that's keeping the delusion. When you see crimes against children, crimes against animals, and you don't step in and you don't report it, you're damn near as guilty. Now, I'm not saying put yourself in the line of fire. I'm not saying take your children and get on the railroad tracks and try to save you a homeless person, a drug addict who's going to rob you in your sleep. I'm just saying care. When it is put directly in front of you to deal with it, that's a spiritual test. That's a test of your character, a test of your moral compass. None of us are that worthy of being here. Some of us got lucky. Some of us really work at it. And since some of us absolutely don't deserve to breathe the same air as the rest of us, and they're living in high places, right? Puppeteering the rest of us. If they are going to punish us, and they are going to make us suffer, and they are going to create basically the meat grinder we fall in, then it's our job to be the resistance to that. It's our job to be the intercessor, to be the divine intervention, if you will. Like you see an animal fall out of a tree, get its leg caught. You don't let it die and say that's just nature. You go get the poor thing out of the tree and you bandage its leg. That's you being a good steward to the earth. That's you living by faith. Well, really, that's just you earning your keep. That's really just you adding value to yourself by tending to and being a good steward to your host. Technically, the planet itself is hosting us. We're living off of her back. We're eating at her table. We're breathing her air, right? Nature's not here just to be our little fuck with toy. We are a guest here, and we could easily be taken out by freak accident, natural disaster, any of the above. So be a good human. Treat other people well. Do the right thing, even when no one's looking, especially when no one's looking. That's when it counts the most. That's when it's specifically just you. I hope and pray that the people pleasers and the overgivers get the courage to cut off those who have just been screwing with them, just purging their problems, because each person needs to carry their own weight. And while we're all walking our path, like as you do your routine every day, this is not going to happen to you every day. You're not going to be called to the carpet every time you go outside. But say you're standing in line and you are in a convenience store and there's a man and woman in front of you, and the woman looks a little timid and the man's being a little aggressive. You don't have to completely like listen in on their conversation, but if you see this woman's eyes darting around and you can tell by her body language she's nervous, possibly in danger, you don't have to get all up in their face aggressive, but you can assess the situation yourself and at least put your body in a way that's at least catty corner to that person, to let the guy that's being too aggressive know that there is somebody seeing what's going on here. You're also letting that woman know, if you need help, let me know. This is that time. right? And they're not all going to take it. People do get scared out of asking for help. People have asked for help and then got the holy shit beat out of them, almost lost their life from it. So there's a reason people don't always ask for help. Have courage. Have courage. You don't need a badge. You don't need a license. You don't need permission to be a good person, to help other people, to use your own discernment and figure out if there's a way you can help and if that's why it's being presented to you. Because these are tests. These are spiritual tests. Every time you flunk these tests, something will happen to you in your personal life to give you empathy training, sensitivity training, to make you understand how it would feel if you were in that situation and no one were to help you either. You will literally be placed in a situation you refuse to help somebody else out of. So, group 7, please answer your spiritual phones. Please get up in there and see who's needing you right now, because we're all on assignment. You're not all from here. Some of y'all just work here, fellow Starseed, right? And you're wondering why this shit keeps you up at night, why the headlines bother you, why the war bothers you, why the famine bothers you. It's your job to be bothered, babes. It's your job to solve these problems. And yeah, it's like David and Goliath. It's a mountain. It's too big for one person. That is not a good enough reason not to even try. That's not a good enough reason to not even pick up a stone to defend yourself. And if you know how to defend yourself, then defend others, because the strong protect the sweet. And we all have different skills, and we all have different assets, and we all have a different way of approaching things. Your way might be a lot better than my way. I've just not seen that example before, so I'm going off of what I have to work with. When you do things like I'm talking about, and you step in and you be that voice of reason, you be that shield, that protection, you're also being a real life example to all those around you who can see what they should have done, what they could have done, what would have been the right thing in that situation, because oftentimes people need to be taught what's the right thing. This situation's never happened before. We don't know what to do. Do the right thing. Do what protects the innocent. Do what rights the wrong. Do what brings justice about in a sense of fairness and diplomacy. It cannot always be diplomatic. Usually a compromise means both sides are kind of unhappy. That's a good compromise. They both kind of don't like what they're getting. They had to compromise. But when it's severe, you need to be that intervention. You need to be the one who puts your foot in the door and stops it from happening. You're not here for no reason. Your purpose is not to just stand by and watch. It's not observe and report. That's not what you're being asked to do. You're being asked to give a shit. You're being asked to show our kids what it means to protect something. If we kept letting this box tell our kids what to do, and that's just what they see, there's obviously, when you watch the feel-good videos, somebody got help with a lot of money, the homeless person was taken off the street, that feels really good. But that's not what's pushed to us. That's not what's spewed upon us. What we get vomited all over us is murder, death, kill, like fucking murder porn. Like, it's crazy what you see on regular TV and what is always coming across our screens is far more dark than light. They're always talking about the problems, not the solutions. Well, we got a lot of problems. But we got a lot of people too, which means we should have like more solutions than we have problems. It means people are actively causing these problems. It shouldn't be. It's sweeping it under the rug and letting shit slide all the time that makes, like, just breeds up a crack for them to get in. And now it's not a crack anymore. It's a celebrated thing. Like, why the hell do we have World Star? Why do we have, like, the show's American Horror Story? It's a celebration of, like, filth, murder, domination, secrecy. Demonic shit is disgusting. It's nasty. Like, worse shit than that's happening in real life. In order to escape from what's happening in real life, you want to watch more of it. It does not make sense to me. I'm not a person who participates in these kind of shows and programs and things like that. I do not lurk around in the shadows unless it's to rescue someone. Sometimes you got to go in the dark to pull one out. But you should, again, be treated like a fireman. Like, that building is already on fire. The less time you spend in it, the better. It's a rescue. It's not a reform situation. My kids have seen me put myself in front of them and put myself in front of strangers. You don't have to go along to get along. Don't let the bully do it just because you don't want to be the target. Call a bully a bully. We're not in school anymore. We're not fucking kids anymore, guys. And our kids are confused as hell. They don't know what to do next. They don't know who to listen to or where to look or what example to follow. And when our top tier people, our leaders, are not leading, they're leading us in a circle up our own asses. It's not helping anyone. Things are getting worse. To me, it's like sitting in a burning building, and whether you're praying that the fire goes out or you're so high you don't notice it's burning, no rescue is coming. You have to be a part of your own rescue. And if you've figured out how to get out of a burning building, it's your moral obligation to go tell others how to, or run in and go get them. Get something to get them out of there. If they're drowning in a pool, throw them a floaty. Use your knowledge of previous experiences. Hello to all who've been joining in with me. Use your knowledge of previous experiences. Fuck, use your trauma. Make your pain a tool. If you've been in a nasty situation before and you managed to survive it, you have the eyes to see when someone else is going through it. Stop ignoring that gut feeling. Stop acting like that's not what it is. There was a little girl who lived next door to me one time. She had 6 sisters. All these kids were under probably 7 years old. The mom, again, a big fat bitch. Again, the dude is a fresh out of prison, straight pedophile, you can tell. And he's just living off this bitch with a check. One time, he leaves them at Christmas and takes all the food out of their house, like the most grinchiest Grinch of things. And all these little kids are hungry as hell in our apartment complex, and the mom's like, oh, I love him, I hope he comes back. She's apologizing to him on the phone instead of running him over with a car, which I would. You're not stealing food out of my house on Christmas from our kids. Well, they weren't his kids, they were her kids. And he was just a weirdo trying to hook up with a fat bitch in a check. Meanwhile, he's touching her little kids. So I had brought this up. I had brought up the weird outfits that the kids were always wearing. They had like a 6-year-old girl who kept wearing this outfit that was like the size of a 2-year-old's onesie, like the crotch snap and everything type deal. Because she was wearing that outfit, I saw a bite mark on her thigh that was the size of an adult man's teeth. There's no way her little sisters bit her like that. They're younger than her. This full set of 32s on this kid, I mean, it was a pink and purple bruise on her leg in the shape of teeth. I called the cops immediately. The neighbor who had been smoking weed with her was pissed off and was like, we smoke together, how can you do this? I said, bitch, just because I smoke weed does not mean I support fucking pedophilia or bitches beating their kids. I was like, this is not a kid on kid crime. This is a grown-ass man hurting these little girls, and she's letting him because she's nasty. She don't care. She'll ignore all of it. I come from the dark. I am not going to play blind or stupid for anybody. And so it set it off in our apartment complex. And sure, they called me all types of shit. But guess what? The little girls got rescued. And the dude actually went to prison. And the mom lost custody of them. I'm not necessarily the always called DHS person. But when you're being that grotesque with it and everyone else is kind of just, it's a hush-hush thing. We know, but you know, that's just how things are. That's how it's always been. We just don't talk about it. It happened to us too. Cowards. Cowards. No. I understand cycles of abuse repeat themselves because people don't know how to get out of it. And self-sabotage and only being taught red flags, you only go to red flags. But you don't have 6 little baby girls and go around a nasty rat face, balding, just looks like the revolting slob spilling out of a greasy wife beater and some shorts hanging off his ass. There are some visual cues that let you know you should judge a book by its cover. And it stank. I can't handle it. People are always trying to add on to the grocery list of crimes. Like, well, we're all doing something wrong, so their wrong's kind of the same. Like I said, no, it's not. Smoking weed's not the same as touching kids. Doing meth ain't the same as touching kids, all right? Being a ridiculous drug addict who sabotages yourself and hurts yourself is not the same as committing crimes against other people. It's not the same as assault and battery. It's not the same as robbery. It's self-harm. Drug addiction falls in the category of self-harm. When you start robbing other people, that's when it's extended. But other than that, an addict is not always a criminal, and a criminal is not always an addict. A criminal is a criminal. Certain things need to get recategorized because the word game we're constantly playing to protect people from their own bullshit has got to stop. That's got to stop. We don't protect the family member who's doing it. We don't protect the neighbor who's doing it. We don't help them cover up the dirt. We don't go bury the bodies for them. So When you're called to the carpet and you are the one seeing it and you are the one who knows better, be the adult in the situation. I don't give a fuck how old everybody else around you is. Be the adult and do the right thing. We have people whose job it is to care about this stuff. And although it may not be your title and it may not be your station in life, it's still also your job. It's your moral job as a human being to care about other human beings, especially little kids who can't defend themselves, old people who can't defend themselves, animals who can't defend themselves. Now, the old people, I know, they're kind of a touchy subject. Because they might have been bastards the entire time and ran everybody off, and now you're the last one here who's like, oh, you salty prick. I will change your diaper, and I'll make sure you don't die alone. I've worked in hospice care. I know what I'm saying. I've been the paid relative. I have been the person who shows up for people when everybody else runs off. And it's not always paid. I do it because it needs to be done. No one should have to die alone. Dying should not hurt unless you were a truly cruel bastard in life. And little kids and animals and people who can't speak up for themselves need advocates from people who sure can do something about it. You don't have to be a one-man army, but you can start the fucking raid, you know what I mean? You can be the one who says something and start, like, get it going. Get the right people. Do something about it. We're all convincing each other that no one gives a shit by being the one who doesn't give a shit first, okay? We can't keep saying, I don't care, and then wanting someone to care about us. Group 7, get your freaking boots on, because that spiritual battle is on the ground. It's like, for real, it's here, in the flesh. So that it can be dealt with. So that everyone can see what's been talked about, what this great book is written about, what all these holy wars are really about. It's about the truth. It's about the truth being the truth. So it doesn't matter how you rephrase it. It doesn't matter what language you say it in. It doesn't matter if you can't speak at all. The truth speaks for itself. What's right is always right, and what's wrong is always wrong. So not everyone can self-correct, but those who know the difference between right and wrong need to be the teachers and the leaders and the example and the standard for what's expected, for what we're attempting to get to and what we're meaning for you to rise up to. Mediocrity is not even mediocrity anymore. Mediocrity is macabre. It's desensitized. It's dissociated. It's drug the fuck out. To the group who has the ADHD and the extra energy to burn, you have the extra energy to burn because you have the extra energy to learn. Go school some fools on what is supposed to be done. What is actually expected of your fellow human. What is expected of a citizen. What is expected of a parent, of a guardian, a guide, just a neighbor. You got to be that and say that. It's no longer, I'll just tend my own fences and I'll just make sure that the reason you've always got extra stuff on your plate is because you're the one to handle it. This is your assignment and we need you to do your assignments. So please keep checking in regularly and getting your assignments. I don't know where you get your messages from. This is like a voicemail type thing. This is like a Skype call from the front help desk. But sometimes tarot readers have all kinds of messages, and some people are scared of tarot. They're like, oh, that's not Christian. Religion is not Christian. All right, religion is messy. Spirituality is pretty much unified. It's all about the same. It's you having a personal relationship with source energy, with what you call creator. And so I've already gotten right with my maker. So when challenged with such darkness and ugliness, I'm cool with meeting my maker over this issue. Are you? I already got right with my God. So me and my God got together and said, I'm not about to let your ass hurt this kid, this animal, this person who just feels small. You don't even have to be little and timid to not be able to defend yourself. That's why the strong need to protect the sweet. I've seen grown men get smacked around by little 4'2" women, and because of the shame and embarrassment of the fact that they're suffering domestic abuse, they won't even say it. They won't even call it what it actually is because it's fucking with their head and their ego and their masculinity. And you know what? We as a toxic ass society have said, you let that girl hit you? No, not physically, but yes, psychologically and emotionally. But we were taught, boys don't hit girls even if she's like taking a crowbar to your windows. That kind of bad teaching, reinforced by a constant laughing off of men even being considered as abused because it's a female. These gender dynamics absolutely do not change whether or not one is harming another. We're going to have to just like wipe the names off a bunch of shit and say person 1 and person 2 so that we can get down to the bottom of it. You know what I mean? There is no one behind me. It's a lava lamp. It's the overall vibes, you know? But who's behind me? Protectors. So, like I said, I've already gotten right with my maker. Obviously, you're probably right with yours. In Group 7, you're Billy Badass. You're the Guns and Averone. You are the ground crew. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. It's not going away. This shit is not going to solve itself. These people can't protect themselves. And things are not going to get better when the chicken shit bully who needs a whole group to back them up is doing this to the individual. Well, we're kind of helping them. We're helping them by not doing something. So do something, even on an individual level, even though no one will ever hear about it. The person that you intercepted for will be grateful. Their life will be changed because of the time someone proved to them it's not everyone. It's not everyone. And a little bit of hope is restored. And a little bit of dignity is restored. And a sense of trust is restored. That it's not everyone. It may be everyone around you and it may be everyone most of the time, but it's not everyone all the time forever. Some people care, even without knowing you. Some people will step in without you asking, and some people have been watching the whole time. We saw that. We heard that. And to your defense, we are going to do something about that. But we need more folks willing to do something about that. It's kind of like you need to make the distinction that you're not part of the problem. Because right now, those who are a part of the problem are bringing it on themselves. They are actually openly inviting problems back into their house. The girl with the dog situation earlier is now on the shit list for the sheriff because she started problems with the boyfriend that was my cousin. She started problems with me. She started problems with the neighbor and also abandoned the dog. So from her just wanting to be an asshole and irresponsible, she's got 4 people witnessing against her versus her arguing with 4 people. So everyone who did the right thing, keep the dog because she kept leaving it, is not in trouble. She is. And she's got 4 different people charging her. So you point one finger, you got 3 pointing back at you. Well, if you're not a finger pointer, sitting and praying is not going to bring rescue, and sitting on your hands is not going to do anything about it. We, the people, are about to need to do something about it. I have to go clean. I have to take this kennel apart because I'm going to take him to the police department. Like I said, they don't have an animal control thing. But I already made the report on her. I'm going to take the little guy and a kennel and some of his plushies, and he's going to stay there with them until either she gets him back or he gets rehomed. And there's multiple options. We were even allowed to ask the first neighbor who had him and really wanted him. If she is not allowed to take him from what she already did, then he can automatically go to that other guy. So instead of getting a knockdown, drag out fight with a bitch who just abandoned her dog on my porch, I went through the step-by-step, do it the right way, not the ghetto, I'll fight you way. And then real consequences came about also, to the point if she decides to retaliate later and come onto my property or call my phone or any of the above to keep it going, she'll get arrested automatically for that too. So I didn't just defend him, I also got defended myself, and other good guys showed up to the situation to be like, oh, we know exactly who she is. We'll sort this out. Just bring him to us. We'll make sure that she has to come to neutral ground where consequences will follow if she does anything else. If she's good, I guess she gets them back. If not, she will have to deal with what she's already done. So, see something, say something, and even if you don't say something, do something. You don't have to get the credit for it. You don't have to make a lot of noise about it. Just help. Just be a silent helper. Be some helping hands. Be a public servant, if you will. It's an unpaid job, but it's the best insurance you could possibly hope to get. You get covered by spirit, and that insurance is so strong, you can have a near-death experience and just come right back like it was a power nap or something. When you really actually do have right on your side, you're doing what you're sent to do. You're doing what you're sent to do. And if you're seeing me, you're being sent to do something. I love you. Please check in. Please check with your messages. Please keep your channel clear so that basically your police scanner can pick up the information that you need. You all are equipped with special gifts. You have like spiritual sight, clairaudience, clairvoyance. You can sense things that aren't even present around you. You can still feel it. You'll have the spidey senses like a detective to pick up on these subtleties and piece together what is going on. You're astute. You're good at observation. Well, like I said, it's not just tracking and reporting. We've been tracking and reporting. We got it. We understand what's going on here. And since we have, it's time to present your evidence. It's time to put in that action. Charges need to get made, right? Actual convictions, actual documentation of this shit. It cannot just keep being swept under the rug. The rug is a mountain high. So till next time, guys, I love you. Please be the kind of person that other people can need in a serious situation. Don't make them have to ask you. If you can tell that the reason they're not asking for help is because they're scared into it, they believe no one will come, or because they're too deep in the situation, it's not a good enough reason to just look away. Stop looking away. Don't look at horrible things as a form of escapism to desensitize yourself when horrible things are happening right outside and someone needs to do something. Do something. Till next time, guys, I love you. Gotta go help this puppy. Bye.